Hey everybody, this is Ashley with Publish with Ashley. Sorry I'm a few minutes late. I'll let you all get on here, whoever's going to be here. Ugh. It's been one of those crazy days. Literally 2 minutes ago, I was answering the door. And it's been one of those days. Anyway, so today I wanted to talk to you about how to find hot niches and kind of show you some, and basically just kind of some niche research and how to do some a little bit different than I've shown you in the past for KDP low content books. So I'm excited to go through it. Today I'm going to be using the Self-Tightens free Chrome extensions and show you kind of how them, I actually have them set up. I did the searches earlier today because it does take a little while. You put in what you're searching for and it takes a little while to come up. And so on a live show, I didn't want you waiting for the little circle to go around. So I actually have put in quite a few and I wanted to walk you through what I found. And I found a few hot niches and I just some thoughts and comments on this tool, which is a fabulous tool. Okay, so let's see. The tool we're going to talk about is, let me go to my extensions so you can see the huge. Okay, so the one specifically is the KDP Amazon BSR and keyword research SEO tool. That's the one we're going to go over. But this, you'll see this one in it. It's the huge Amazon search engine. Both are free. They're self-publishing titans. Yeah, they're great. I'm now Facebook friends with the person who does this, and he's great. Him and his wife are awesome. They have a great story. And if I remembered it's Self-Publishing Titans, I think is their Facebook group. Or at least if you search on that on Amazon, you'll find them too. And he's really great. Anyway, so always giving great free advice. So this is their Chrome extension, and it's really, really useful. But I want you, any tool you use, I want you to take with a grain of salt. And we're going to kind of go through that because I actually use this tool on some of my best-selling niches. And I thought the results were pretty interesting. Some of them, the tool said, hey, this isn't a good niche to go into. And I don't think that's true because I'm doing well in that. So that's why I want you to, the tool is just a tool. It's how you interpret it and what you know and kind of using your brain, right? The tool is a great indicator, red light, green light, that sort of thing. But it is not the end all be all. It's fabulous. And it got me thinking, and I had fun using it because it got me thinking about different things and aspects as I used it and as I use it. And it does help for me to get some keywords when I actually have what I thought it was really great for is I was actually putting a book in last night for my niece for a Christmas present. I've been working on creating her own storybook about her adventure. And so I was trying to, it's specifically for her, but I figured, hey, why not keyword research it? Because it's a really cute kid's book. I got all the illustrations from Creative Fabrica, and it took me a long time to put the backdrops, the characters. I, did a lot of stuff to make it really kind of cool, actually. But I wanted to keyword it, right, so that it worked well. And this tool, I thought, helped me find extra keyword like phrases that I could put into those keyword boxes. So you can definitely use that tool for this to find the keyword phrase, as long as it relates to your book, the keyword phrase that will rank, that you have a possibility of ranking on the first page for. Okay, so without further ado, I've kind of talked without sharing. Let me share my screen so that you can kind of see this. Share screen. This one, and okay. All right. Okay, so let me move my StreamYard over here so I can see your comments. All right, so this is, yeah, okay, you're seeing what I'm seeing. Good, okay. So I wanted to kind of go through some of the topics I had talked to you before about, if you've seen some of my other videos, my Facebook group, or, which by the way, you can go to my Facebook group, subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's my self-promotion for the day. But check out my Facebook group, it's free. It's a link in the description, and check out my website that has some freebies and some things to buy, some mini courses. And if this is your new to low content publishing, you're, how to do this. how to put a book together and put it on Amazon, really step by step. All right, so one of the niche, like how to do niche research I talked about, I found like dream catcher coloring books because I kind of wanted to look into coloring books. I have a few, but not too many because I'm kind of a perfectionist and they take me a while. So I only have a few. And anyway, this one, as you can see, when you type, so what you're just going to do is you download this extension, the Self-Publishing Titans, and what it does is once you type this in, it will think about it for a minute. These numbers won't be filled out. You hit enter and they will eventually fill out. So it just takes a few minutes. I can demonstrate that later, but I don't necessarily want you watching that all live. So I've already kind of typed all these out. Okay, so what happens is you can see here is what it says to do is when you click on that, my internet is trying to stream and talk to you all. It says this algorithm is specifically tailored towards books at its first priority. Okay, and then what it does is basically says that if you have a score of 63 and above, that you can, that's a good niche to go into. You have a good chance of ranking on the first page. Is that kind of, you can read this whole thing, but that's kind of what it comes down to. And then it gives you some things to see if it's not working or what's wrong, kind of some self-help tips. But what I like is you can click this in and it gives you kind of the red, yellow, green. And this one isn't, it's 56%. It's not 63 or above, but still it's a pretty good one. But it also gives you the number of results, the average BSR, and some price points, and then the number of reviews. And why some of these things are important is, okay, so let's look at number of results. In keyword niche research, everyone talks about number of results. Well, yeah, you're more likely to rank highly in a category if there's less results. So this is a good one, 993 results. The average BSR is not as high as actually I would think, but what you kind of look as you scroll down, you can see a lot of the ones it's showing up as a search result isn't particularly related to that keyword. So, you want to kind of take, like I said, you want to take some of this with a grain of salt. I don't think this is bad. If you look through the ones that are relevant, when you scroll down, like this is definitely relevant and has a high rank. This one's got a decent rank, 300,000. This one's got a good one. I've seen this one consistently sit around that rank. And here's another 200,000. So there's quite a few that are around that are specifically geared towards that niche that are doing well. So at least you could rank well. And that's what this kind of says. There's kind of some related ones with Native American. And anyway, that's kind of what I wanted to show you on this. Also, here's something interesting. This average review, average price is definitely good, but average reviews is a good thing to note because if it's really, really high, you have some really established books in this niche. And so it might be hard to gain some traction, but it kind of depends. So on an activity book, if you can be next to a really established one, you might still get picked up. People buy more than one, right? Sometimes they'll buy 2 or 3 activity books. And so just because something's ranked highly and has a lot of reviews doesn't mean people aren't willing to try yours because it might be different or it might look better. And we'll get into some of that look stuff as we go along. But I just wanted to kind of show you that I still think this is a decent niche and that somebody could really do well in it. Maybe it's not $1 million, but hey, if you can get something just making even $50 a month, that's really great. Okay, so another niche I had the homeschooling niche, right? Now, this one says the niche, I homeschool planner for 2 students. I want to talk about this and then I want to talk about keywording. So what I started out with was homeschool planner, and I typed that in, and then their other extension, the one that talks about keywords, and I will show you this, but I want to talk about it before I script these results, showed like all these different other things, homeschool planner for kids, homeschool planner for 1 student, homeschool planner for 2 students. So I decided to niche down into homeschool planner for 2 students and just see what the results were. There's the results are pretty high, 54 still, that's not too off of 63. The average price is really good. Look at the average reviews, still pretty low. So there's not huge established name brands in this niche pretty much yet. Now, this average BSR is lower, but that's not all too surprising considering that fall was probably the biggest time for this, but you're probably going to see another resurgence in the January timeframe when kids go back to school and they're going back to homeschooling again or whatever. But this is something to look into. But what I wanted to kind of go down and scroll through is to kind of show you that there are still some doing really well. So this one's at like 200,000. This one was really cute. Look how simple this is, but it's seriously very cute. It's, the colors draw the eye. These are popular colors. They were a very popular color combo last year. It's a popular color combo this year, kind of that peach and teal. I have some stuff in these color combos and they do really well. So that when you're doing some of this research, start looking at that sort of stuff. This is my favorite thing to do, especially with this data, is to look at why something is ranked highly or low in this sense, but people buy it ranked well. Maybe that's better than high. And see why these things are selling. It could be that it's a name brand, right? Or it could be the color combinations, or there's many reasons, but kind of do some analysis. And that will also help you find some different niches. This one's a sponsored product, but look, this one is Trust God and Teach Your Child with Confidence. So I don't think this is actually a logbook. This is more of a book, and it's a publisher. But there's a niche you can look to, religious homeschool planners, something like that. That's a sub niche you can look into. Anyway, so I just wanted to show you this. And let me go back up. I promised I would show you like the other part. So homeschool for students. Let me see. Homeschool planner. Okay, so here it's going to come up. All right. What's neat about this is you can actually go, oh, here's his Facebook group. Here's download the suggested keywords. So you could actually download these, and that way you don't have to keep typing it in on Amazon to see these. You can download these so that you can have them and you can use them for keywording in your books. But each one of these you probably want to click on and see what the results are. Analyze the top winners. Why are they winners? Do you notice anything about them? Color combinations, interiors. Is there something about the winners that make them stand out? Read the reviews, that sort of thing. And that will really prepare you to enter a niche and create a book that is really useful to your user, because the more useful it is, the more reviews you're going to have, the better reviews you're going to have. That's, the cycle continues. More people are going to purchase it because there's more reviews. So spend time on some of these and really look into it. Don't just throw something up there. You can, but expect what you put into it, right? If you just throw something out there into the world, yeah, that's how much effort's going to come back to you. You may get lucky, you may win the lottery, but most likely not. So anyway, you could just click on all of these and then see what the different scores are for them. But I just wanted to show you that. So I'll show it to one student. I'll click on it and see it's going to load up, and it just takes a while, and it'll circle. And I didn't want you to see all that live. But see, it's coming up. They're not filled out yet. Like I said, it takes some time. I have a lot of tabs open too. Okay, so the next one I wanted to go through was this one. Math practice for kindergarten. And this I wanted to go through it because, okay, I know it has a 42, but above 40 is not that bad, especially with something a little bit more like this. It's very, very targeted. Now, it's math practice for kindergarten, but if you look through the results, okay, that's sponsored, but some of these are grade 3, grade 8. This is definitely a kindergarten one, but you've probably seen this brand. And there's something to be said about brand power, right? If you create a line of kids' books or things like that, then they are definitely, brand has meaning to people. So they tend to be more popular. But look at this one. This one is focused at kindergartners and it's doing really well. But man, it's not very exciting. That's like the most dry looking kindergarten book ever. Whereas my kindergartner, well, she's in first grade now, would like this book. This book, not so much. So you could see maybe why 309 is doing better. I mean, this is still probably a fantastic book. It's educational. It's a brand name. But I'm telling you right now, my first grader would be attracted to this one. And it doesn't, if you do the research and do a good book so that it actually teaches the skills you're advertising, then you will do well, because this looks boring. This looks exciting. This looks boring. Okay, so you want to go through and take like these numbers of the tool with a grain of salt and say, okay, why are some of these doing well? This one's cute. Now this wasn't done too long ago. My kindergarten math workbook, Making Learning Fun, right? My kindergarten would like this one. It's got a little mouse and they're on a paper. You know, this is cute and not too hard to create, but definitely more exciting than this. But they're the same things. It's just a matter of appealing to your audience, right? And so look at this. This one's not too bad. It shows you the kind of things, but yet again, it's still a little boring. It does look like it's a publishing company. This one at least looks fun. But that's what I'm saying. You want to go through these and see why are they doing well and do they match? Like handwriting, there's a lot of these that aren't really kindergarten. And if I was to click through, you can see that a lot of the results for this particular keyword aren't actually focused on kindergartner. Some are, but not a ton. It's focused on kindergartner like skills, but not necessarily math, which is what me as the user was looking for when I typed that in. This one, I wanted to show you this. Okay, this just got published, right? It's doing pretty good considering. And look at this cover. I'm sorry if this is yours, but it's so boring. Like, you're doing really well, all considering that this is a really not exciting cover for a kindergartner. Look at this. Cute kindergartner. This, boring. But your inside pages are probably great and fantastic. But this is so boring. So yet again, if someone with no offense, your interior might be fantastic, your cover is not targeted at your audience. You could do really well. This is the one my daughter would love. Octonauts, letter tracing, right? Don't do this unless you actually have a license. Don't pick, Octonauts is a cartoon. So don't do something that isn't yours. But you could make your own little characters and name them things, right? And then do, obviously you don't have a T-show, but you can make your own little characters, give them names, make it a little more story fun for kids so that they're a little bit more excited about doing their homework. Okay, so I wanted to show you that, but look at these average reviews. So you do have some definitely established brands in this niche. So that's something to consider. It's not a red flag, but it's something to consider. How are you going to be different in this niche? And I think some of it is making it fun for kids, right? This makes math fun for kids. This is math, but not fun for kids. Great, but not fun for kids. This is fun for kids looking, So that's kind of what I wanted to show you in that. There's a way to stand out in that marketplace, even if you feel it's a little crowded, and find out what your angle is. Okay, next one. I've been talking a long time. Okay, logic. Did anyone have any questions? Okay, I see a few people watching, but I wasn't looking at my other screen to see if there were questions. Okay, logic games for seniors. This one was kind of fun. So I typed it in. Notice I'm in the all category. I got 70%. The average BSR is pretty good. The price is fantastic. And the number of results are pretty good too. 250. So yeah, there's definitely people who are established in the niche. But what was interesting, and I wanted to show you, is so these, if you look into this, and you would probably definitely want to, I've talked about this niche before, you'd want to do some research into what memory games are best for seniors and adult lots. But it's stuff you probably, it's puzzles, just do a little bit of research and you'll, actually one of these is AARP lower. They actually on their site have some awesome games. Like it shows you what kind of stuff that seniors and memory loss, and it's helpful. You can do some research on Alzheimer's. You can do just a little bit of research in what books are selling, and then what reputable sites say. Like AARP would be a reputable site. Maybe something with Alzheimer's that's like the Board of Medicine for Harvard or whoever, just whatever makes it easy. Somebody who would be an authority. You can look and see what they suggest as well. So these wouldn't be too hard to create. But you would want to go through and look. So what I found when I was going through this is it's a lot of games, right? It's not books. So I was like, okay, there is some down here and they're doing pretty well. Look, 19,000, these are doing pretty well. These focused at seniors. And yet again, I wanted it shows better on the next page because the next one I actually clicked. And this one, I know the score, 32. You're like, oh no, that's scary. But I did some more delving down a little bit, and you'll see that in the next one. But logic games for seniors, and I used books, okay? Because I wanted my results to be more book oriented. And so I'm getting these, you could, instead of games, you could try puzzles, see if that keyword comes up with something better. But what I wanted to show you is some of these. Like this one looks fun and bright and colorful and stands out. This one it's not actually been that long since this has been published. This one, I loved this. Look how well it's doing. And this is where I want to tell you, like, think of your audience. This, yet again, looks like, maybe I can go down. I think it's the next one. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay, no. Whoever did this, I love you. But look at this picture. If you were an older senior, would you really want your cover showing you? It's like not sexy. I know that's not exactly the right word, but it's not like flattering. Maybe that's the best word, right? Brain games for seniors. Yes, there's a senior on it, so it shows what it's about. But gosh, I don't know. I'd be excited to get this book. So it still at least sells. But this book, look, it's like bright, it's colorful. It doesn't say, hi, I'm old. Right? This one's fun. Look at this. Fun and relaxing adult activity book. Now it's not specifically focused at seniors, but definitely this is a little more sexy, right? A little bit more focused on my audience. Whereas this definitely is focused on my audience, but I don't know I'd be interested in this book by its cover. I'd be like, Now, these are interesting because seniors of this particular era are used to kind of these type of figures. So it might have some nostalgia for them. So you could look through public domain characters that were, in the 30s, 40s, that maybe were popular, that they would recognize and connect with. So that's a way to connect, right? Use memorabilia from the time when they were young and connect with them. And that's an idea. I love this. Yet again, it's kind of got a sexy title too. I hate to use the word sexy, but that's the best word I can come up with. Interesting, exciting title. 299 on the go games and puzzles keep your brain young. Right? Doesn't that sound great? Versus, hi, I'm an old senior and I need help with my memory. Not to say you can't focus on that for a title, but this definitely is a little more grabby, exciting. Minutes a day to mental fitness, right? So when you're coming up with your title, think of keywords, but also think of things that would attract your audience. There's a way to string your keywords together that make them much more exciting to somebody. And much more interesting. And then just colorful, like this did not take forever to write this cover, but is way more interesting than that. Sorry, whoever you are. This one's kind of interesting. Yeah, so I kind of like that. It's got that newsy feel, that time feel of that nostalgia. So that could work. Okay, so what did I have here? We decided that maybe this isn't this definitely could be a back-end keyword, but maybe it's not the best keyword, right? But still, it's a good keyword. So let's look at, you want to do something like this, but you want to maybe do a little bit more specific. So games to help memory loss. And you can try something, games, puzzles, you can try all these different keywords. This one's a little better, 60% good average PSR. Yet again, this, since it's in the all, is going to get a few games versus books, and you can try it. This one does really well, but yet again, like, at least it makes the seniors look old or look powerful. Not old, sorry. Powerful, right? And it's colorful, and maybe you can your audience can identify with a little bit, but I don't know. No, I still wouldn't do this. I would do more this, or this one, keep your brain alive, right? That sounds kind of interesting, exciting, and good pictures. This is yet again another great picture one, and it seems kind of scientific, right? Doesn't this say, hi, maybe this person actually knows what they're talking about? And if you do research, actual research, maybe even throw in a few facts in there, then you can appeal to your audience, appeal to someone buying it for that person. Here's the memory activity book from AARP. Like I said, their website has some great stuff on this. It has some games you can actually play. Oh, this is the one I wanted to go up here and point out. Yeah, right here. Okay, it's number 6 in Alzheimer's. So this, if you specifically make something like this, you would want to make sure to email KDP and have your book put into specific memory loss type categories. You can choose these categories, but sometimes there's very specific ones that are not offered in the drop down, and so you can ask Amazon to be put into those categories. You can also make sure to include those keywords in your back end, like Alzheimer's and the other. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on. I can't remember the other memory loss things. That's pretty good. But like, you'd want to put those in the back end, and Amazon might pick it up and put your book in that category. But if not, you can always email them and ask to be put into that category. Okay, so that's kind of what I wanted to show you on that. All right, let's go to the next one. I'm sorry, this is getting long. All right, anyone still with me? I have a few people still with me. All right, so this one, games to help memory loss. All right, if you get to the end, I have a cool one at the end that I thought was a really good keyword. Games to help memory loss. Okay, so yet again, you can kind of, this was in the books category. 64%, decent BSR, good price point, number of results 113. So yet again, if you can kind of look at your different sets of keywords, and just tweak them a little bit in phrases to see what one that might help you rank higher in the page. And that's kind of what I wanted to show you with that. All right, so totally a different track. 56%, mindful journal for teenagers. So I started out with mindful, I think, journal, mindful guide, mindful book. I'm not really sure what I started out with. But yet again, I kind of went down the rabbit trail and came up with mindful journal for teens. And how do I come up with the rabbit trail? I just like I showed you, I open this up and start typing, and then all those words that come up, the different blocks that came up, like mindful journal for teens, mindful journal. And actually, I don't even think mindful journal for teens came up. I think it said mindful journal for ages 13 to 17 or something like that. And so I just put in mindful journal for teens, right? Because most people say teen, at least in the US. So that's kind of how I ended up coming to this one. And so it's got some good stuff. And if you create a book that will stand out to your audience, you might do really well. Let's see. And I've done this by doing a lot of really bad ones. Like this is not the best cover, okay? Things that don't totally suck. Well, that would definitely resonate with your teen audience, right? But you could probably do a better cover than this, and it's still ranking pretty well. This looks very not, I mean, yeah, women, men, and teens, seriously, I can't see a guy buying that for himself. I can't even see a girl buying that for a guy. Probably not the best keyword to throw in there. Sorry, people I'm critiquing. This one, I love this cover for a teen girl. Like, my tween, really, like the 13, 14-year-old, this totally says, sorry, I have girls. this says something. And this, look, it's a bestseller. Like I went through and I was like, wow, that is a super fun cover. And I think that's one of the reasons this stands out. It is a really well focused cover. Now, if you're going to focus your cover on a specific age group, make sure your keywords match that. I don't know what their back end keywords are, but it does say journal for girls, and this is definitely girls, which this should be capitalized, whoever this is. Sorry. And just focus yourself a little bit within your keywords. I mean, I probably, definitely for girls, but I probably would have put something about teens or definitely teens or tweens in the back end keywords. This one was really pretty. This girl, a diary, and this speaks to a specific type of that boho philosophy. But what about making it resonate with a specific audience? So just changing this idea and making it focused on, let's say, an African-American audience with things that they would like. There's girls who like this, and there's girls who like this, and then there's girls who want to look up to, a beautiful version of them. So an African-American one in this might do really well because it's something that I didn't really see, but it's something that your audience would identify. And yet again, put your back end keywords to focus on that target audience. And that way you can take some of your interiors and you can tweak them a little bit if you want, but sometimes you don't even need to change the interior up. You just need to change the cover and the keywords to focus on a specific audience. All right, so the next one. I know this is long. I'm almost done, I promise. This is what you've kind of been waiting for. This is, I thought, a fabulous one. Calligraphy practice book for beginners. Okay, I used to do calligraphy so long ago, and it requires a lot of practice and a lot of paper. And so I wanted to go through yet again, why I think some of these are doing well. This is a good book. It's got hand lettering for beginners, learn each letter. So you'd actually have to do some work to create this book as far as showing the tips and tricks. And so that part would take you a decent amount of time to create, but the rest is going to be lined pages. So there's some work involved in creating some of these more niche things, but it's well worth it. This is at 180. And look how, okay, I know I hate to say the word cute, but this is calligraphy, tends to be a girl thing. Cute, right? It's doing very well, and it's priced very well, and it wasn't like it's got a million. Okay, 8,000 reviews, not a million, but a lot of reviews. And look at this one. That's okay, but look at the cover. And it's pretty priced, right? But it is a workbook, so it probably had a lot more detail. But it's definitely not as, maybe this is the serious, calligraphy workbook, and this is the more fun calligraphy. A lot of people take up calligraphy, at least to start, the beginners, because they want it to be fun. So this might not speak fun to your beginner. This might speak kind of boring, though definitely educational, instructional. There is, like, this one's a lot prettier. I hate white because look what the white does. You can't see the edges of the book, but it's still doing well. This one's fun and speaks to your audience, pink and blues and things that your audience would like. So you can look and through this hand lettering workbook, mastering modern calligraphy. This is definitely more of a textbooky type thing. So this is a fun one. This shows examples. I like this. This shows examples of what you could do to make projects for people, right? So you not only can show what you're doing, but what you could do with it. And then your audience can imagine, like, oh yeah, I would love to create a beautiful, cup for my friend, or a pretty poster that they could frame, or whatever, that sort of thing. And here is an interesting advertising activity. Try and pick, you can advertise against things. So if you're Amazon, you can advertise your book against this particular product so that it would show up on that product page using MS. So that's definitely something people who buy this might be interested in, a beginning workbook. So there's some ideas I kind of went through. And look at this one. Okay, this is super boring. And it's at 10,000. Now it's got a lot of reviews, but you guys can do better than this. But look and see what's good. Read these reviews. What do people like about it? not like about it? How can I stand out? This one's fun. Look, modern calligraphy for kids. So they're focused on a specific, market. And then the cover definitely states that with the fun markers and being bright, bold colors for students. Anyway, so think about who you're marketing to, what they like, and how, if you're going into a market, how you can stand out or what you can do that's better, and read reviews and that sort of thing. But I thought this was a great one, but it does require a little work to create it at first. Okay, let's see. Oh, this is my last one, really quick. I thought this one was fun. Learn to draw books for kids 3 to 5. I tried different numbers, and they all are about 60, 50 something. This is another one I want to say, focus on your audience. So if my keyword is going to be learn to draw books for 3 to 5-year-olds, okay, I have she's almost 7 right now, and circles and squares and triangles are about the extent of what she can draw. Okay, now some children are much better than that, but they're probably not getting the book for the 3 to 5-year-old. They might be getting like the 8-year-old drawing book. So if you are creating one of these books, think about what kids can draw. So the ones that do well are the really simple ones. See, circles, triangles. These do take a little bit more time to create, but they're obviously going to be they're going to be simple. Follow directions and do it by yourself, right? Look, circles, ovals. The ones that do well are focused on the age group that target audience is at. This, yet again, look at this. Very simple. This cover could be prettier. Now, Dover's a brand, and they're going to sell their books for a lot less. But here's one. This one is like how to draw step for step. This is really cute. I wish this cover was cuter. It's not bad, but you could do better. Like this one's pretty cute. It shows like kids doing things, drawing. It appeals to your audience. This one, I love this one. This is a great cover. Now these are clean white pages, and that's why they do more, but there's no reason you can't create something very much like this. It's definitely focused on the audience, right? It's straight lines. This even might be a little bit hard for my 7-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old. She's almost 7. But she probably could still make something that looked like that. But definitely look at that and see what type of things would work. How to draw things. Yet again, this is probably a good one for the age group. So this one, actually, it's been selling really well, but I went through and looked at the reviews, and it was like 2 comments. People liked it because it was fun. And then there was the other group that says, this is not a how to draw book. This is, here's a grid, you try it. No real drawing instructions. So that's a marketing thing, right? Isn't really how to draw. It's like how to learn proportions. And that may not sound as good. So maybe you want to include how to draw on the back end. This still is doing well because, yet again, Modern Kids Press is a brand, but it's not exactly targeted right. So people either loved it because they knew what it was, or people hated it because they didn't know what it was and were disappointed. So that was kind of the 2 things I got out. It makes sense. How to draw. This is more like, here's how to draw these sorts of things, sort of. These are more how to draw. Okay, so I think that was all I wanted to do. Let me stop staring my screen. Okay, I think now let me move back over here so I can see. All right, well, that was kind of it. Did you guys have questions? I'm sorry that was long, but I wanted to go through and I wanted to talk about my logic process and how I analyze not just the numbers, but like what I go through and decide if I want to go into that market, how am I going to stand out in that market? What am I going to focus on, target on? How am I going to skew something so that I can create something interesting and different in a crowded market or even a not crowded market? You know, some of those 40% ones aren't bad if you come up with a twist for it that you think could make your particular product resonate with a specific audience. And of course, always make a great interior. That's it. No questions. I'm sorry that was really long. I probably should have just picked a few to show you, but I really wanted to kind of talk you through my thought process, because what's hard to teach is after you do this more and more and more, it's that it just comes with practice. It's that, what do I see that stands out? How do I compare things? And as you do it more, you'll start to see it. And it's not easy at first. And so I can show you what I do and kind of my stream of consciousness as I'm going through, but the instincts will start coming as you go along. Oh, and I say that? I said, yeah, I shared with you, I did some of my best niche topics with the tool, and the results were, don't go into it. But honestly, I'm doing very, very, very well in those niches. So that's what I'm saying. Definitely use the tool, but use your brain with the tool. use the tool as a resource to start getting you thinking and seeing what's out there. And maybe, yeah, I could rank for that keyword. Is that keyword relevant to my audience? Like that drawing for 3 to 5 year olds, that unicorn book was not a 3 to 5 year old book. Yeah, it's ranking for those keywords, but that is so not what I would buy for my 3 to 5 year old. There's just no way. So, think about your audience, think about what your keyword is. Your keyword makes sense for your audience, and try and be as relevant as possible. Think about your customer and use that tool, because it's great, but it does require using some critical thinking skills with it, and not just saying, oh, I found a great niche, I'm just going to go for it and spend thousands of hours or a ton of money to create something. You might get lucky, but applying the 10-20 minutes of critical thinking skills might save you a lot of time and money, and maybe focus you a little better. Okay, that was it. I've babbled way too much, and I hope you all enjoyed this. And sorry it went long, but I think it's valuable. I really want you guys to succeed and kind of learn how to do this. All right, that is it. I will see you all. Actually, next week is Thanksgiving. I won't see you next week, so there'll be no show next week live. I might do an upload or just a random live. I will be actually on a plane next week to visit my relatives. So yeah, no show next week, but I will see you all after Thanksgiving week. And I'm excited. Let me know if you guys have questions. Join my Facebook group, subscribe, hit the bell, do all those things. And I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.